when the two of us sit, this, you know, these are parties with mutual respect. And we can look into each other's eyes and point out the errors and point out the groups we're talking about.
Sorry to cut in. And talking about looking into each other's eyes, exactly why I wanted a rep from the NDC here. So you could have we could have an honest discussion about this. But the
discussion won't end alone on radio.
Exactly.
The two of us, you see, we don't have any problem at all bringing in mediators. But then that is another nice way of a window dressing approach.
Let me just come in with this. You use the NCC example.
Yes, and I've used the Peace Council
example. And the fact that
these are two mediators they have recommended.
It's a blame game thing. And so you're saying that, well, we've had them visit us in times past, and we still haven't gone anywhere with it. But isn't that enough reason why you actually need a mediator? Because if the blame game is still there...
never needed a mediator to call President Mahama after the Supreme Court decision. It was an honest and a democratic thing to do. President Mahama didn't need a mediator to pick a phone to concede defeat to Nana Addo after December 7, 2016. Let's not pretend that these political parties are warring factions. In Parliament,
but you have trust issues.
Well, the trust issues, it doesn't come from these two parties. The trust issues has to do with the third party. So when we sit down and we list our problems, and then we can then say, okay, we want Bernice to be in because she has a role to play. We want Elvis to be in because he has a role to play. But if you box and bring everybody in there, you think that when you have microphones there, roundtable discussion, coffee and croissant being served, and these political parties will own up and say, okay, I own the Hawks, I fund them, I own the Invisible, I fund them, then that will be an exercise in futility. What we want is a very honest and dispassionate discussion. And we reckon that it's going to be heated, but the passionate, legitimate debate that must ensue, in our view, must lead to finding a lasting solution to this menace and to this problem. It weakens our democracy, it doesn't make us look good. But the NDC, they've been the biggest culprits in the past. They've presided over several by-elections.
But you see, Mr.
Just
this is the problem.
We've shown leadership.
A lot of Ghanaians have issues with this posture as well, because we are moving forward. We've agreed we want to have a discussion. Can we?
When the two parties meet, there's no way you can gloss over issues of the past.
Okay.
It must be poured. Archbishop Desmond Tutu said something, that before the book is closed, the book must first be opened for us to know the content.
And so you want to have that meeting just between yourselves.
You see,
so you can do that
if we don't and we go for that full-scale mediation, I can tell you the NDC will be embarrassed.
Okay, so this issue
because the demands that they are bringing and the footage and the reportage and the pictures that we can show of events in the past and under whose reign that the terror did reign, they've presided over more by-elections than we have.
If they would be embarrassed and if it would not be in their interest, why don't you just give it to them anyway?
Is it embarrassing a party, or is it about us finding a lasting solution, Dennis?
It is about finding a lasting solution, but your defense to why you don't need a mediator is what I'm asking.
Well, we will write the letter. My last conversation with the national chairman just about 10 minutes ago, before I got into your studio, he's asked the general secretary to write a letter. They discuss the contents of it and then dispatched. We do hope that the receiving officer at the NDC's headquarters will be at post, so that it also doesn't turn out to be that we send a letter or you haven't sent a letter. But it is sad that common meeting breaking the ice, we have to call on UN, call on AU.
Should we trust the NPP and the NDC to do a good job with this standing? You're not even able to meet and agree when to meet, how to meet.
But the sad aspect is that you're asking me to engage in an exercise which is a bit difficult. I can only vouch for the NPP. I don't speak for the NDC, but I can vouch for the sincerity of the NPP, and we are committed to ensuring that we rid our politics of politically motivated or politically affiliated violence.